What's going on, guys? Logitech Speed here, and welcome to something new on my channel. Today we're going to be checking out what I use to make my YouTube videos, and I've been improving them a lot. The quality went up a lot on them, and as you guys can tell, I do use the Elgato Game Capture HD60 right here, and I do record at 1080p 60 frames per second. But I'm going to be going through all this, showing you the settings I used. Maybe it'll help you out. I also use the Logitech c920. I believe that's what it is right down here, and I use Sony Vegas, and sometimes I use Audacity whenever I want to mess with my voice up a little bit, like make it a little bit more better quality. I know you can do that in Audacity, and I use like Photoshop, Paint.net, and all that for my thumbnails and stuff like that, and maybe some annotations. But yeah, let's get into it, boys. Yeah, I used the game capture from Elgato. It's been great. Probably the best capture card I've ever dealt with. But let's get into the settings. I know I can't mess with them right now because I'm recording, but your input device should always be at what you're recording off of. Like, it'll have Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3. You get the point. And if you're recording off a PC, then just put it on Other because they don't have PC on it. So just put it on Other, and then video input is just whatever you guys use. I use an HDMI, and then audio input is always HDMI audio if you're using an HDMI. And then I usually put my HDMI color range at expanded because it just expands the colors a little bit more, and it makes them darker places a little bit more seeable. And like you'll see when I demonstrate it later, but the profile I'll use HD 1080 with allow 60 FPS, and then the quality I usually go up on all the way to the best, which is 18.1 gigabytes. It gets pretty crazy. The file sizes do get crazy, but if your internet's not the best at uploading, or you don't have the biggest space on your computer, then just trim that down to like better or up in this area, and it'll still be good. But I usually put it at best because I got pretty good decent internet and then a pretty good space in my computer. All right, going on, actually cropping, just take off this convert standard definition to 640 by 480. Just take that off, and then we should be good on that, and then you can keep this one checked. It don't really do nothing except for if you record at 480p, but I still take them off. But brightness, I usually have it at -7, and then contrast 19, saturation at 20, and then hue I don't really mess with. I don't know, these settings are usually the best for me. Sometimes I mess with the saturation a little bit depending on what like game I'm playing, really. And then like the brightness and contrast really depends on that too. Like sometimes like Black Ops 3's Nightmares, like it's a dark place because it's zombies, so you're gonna have to turn up the brightness just a tad bit and mess with the contrast a little bit more on that. But other than that, it should be fine at these settings if you guys want to run them. Audio I don't mess with. Never really found anything to this really because it's analog and we're using HDMI. Profiles, I don't really mess with these too much, but I do have a couple profiles that are because on my Dying Light and Nightmares videos can run really high in the minutes. Like I can run 25-30 minutes into videos. Like Nightmares I know sometimes can be 30 minutes or so in missions, maybe even farther, because it's a campaign and you can't really deal with it. I mean, you just have to deal with it. So they could be 30 minutes, and having 30 minutes on 18.1 gigabytes an hour, the file sizes get a little bit too crazy. So I do trim it down when I make the profiles. Instead of 40 megabytes per second on like Nightmares, I'll have it for like 35 or 32-ish. I'll trim it down a little bit on Nightmares, but Dying Light is like a 38 to 40. So other than that, like my multiplayer videos are 40 megabytes per second. But other than that, guys, that is the settings of mine. I don't really mess with advanced at all, but what can get out of that? What else to show? You can also come in here and go to capture and then put where you want to capture your files. Here's your library, and you can export them to whatever folder you want them. And enable flashback recording. That is when you can not be recording, but it still is like recording kind of, but you can like go back on this and slide it back and show like what you missed, and just go back, like you slide this bar right back and just hit record, and it'll record right through that. so you never miss a moment. So I always keep that on. And then enable stream command, I have that on, but I don't really stream, so no really point of that having it on. And I usually get rid of the ones I usually don't use on exporting them on like sharing. So I usually just keep YouTube and file MP4 on. I usually just use this one. I usually don't go straight to YouTube because I usually got to edit them before I upload them to YouTube. But other than that, let's go to file exports. You can take this one off if you want. Always convert new videos to MP4 file. You can either have that on or have it off. I usually keep it off for some reason. I don't know what the reason why, but mix the following tracks to exports, webcam overlays, and live commentary audio. I usually keep these on because it misses, like the audio right now, as you guys can tell right here, my audio right here, woo, my audio, it'll actually put the audio like together, especially this one. Like this one, you can separate them if you don't want the audio, the live commentary with your gameplay. I usually just take that just in case, but it still mushes it up, but then it like automatically separates it. So I have one file for your commentary, and then the other file is your gameplay, and then the gameplay has the game audio, and it'll still mush up your live commentary, but it'll still take out your live commentary and put it in a separate file if you want that for later. Updates, automatically check for updates. You always want that on. Hotkeys, don't really want to mess with them. And then advanced is whatever you got for video codec. I use NVIDIA GTX 960, and I usually just keep it on the highest quality, and you don't really mess with it from there. But if you go out of that, you got all these toolbars like record, you can pause it, and you can mute the audio if you're just recording right now, and you can like hear the audio when you're recording from PC and you don't want to really hear it. You can just mute that, and then your commentary button on and off. I'm gonna keep it on right now because I'm talking. And then you got overlays. If you want to do overlays, like you can have like your webcam overlay. Like if you click this one, you have a webcam overlay up here. You can put it over here, wherever you want it. You can even put it in the middle if you want it, if you want to just go that crazy. And then you can also, if you have a green screen, they have that effect to where it can be transparent in the background, and you will have nothing in the background. Now tags, I don't really mess with. I usually keep that plain. Live commentary, I usually keep it at -2 decibels. It sounds pretty good to me. It's not a little bit too overboard, and it's not a little bit too low where you can't hear me over the gameplay. And then game audio, I change up a lot. I usually keep it at -12 whenever I'm playing Advanced Warfare, Dying Light, maybe even lower on Dying Light, because Dying Light for some reason runs at really high audio, and I even still mess with the audio inside the game, and it's still high. So I usually keep that at -12, maybe -13. But for some reason, Black Ops 3 always runs really low on audio. Like I even have it at full blast in the game on 10, the max settings for audio on Black Ops 3 Nightmares, and I still, like if I ran at -12 decibels, it'd be super quiet. Now, like if I record Nightmares, I'm gonna have to turn it up to like -8 or something, like right over here, because it's so quiet inside that game for some reason. But I believe that's it on this page, guys. You can also use your live streaming if you want right up here, but I don't really live stream. Maybe that'll be coming in the near future, I don't know. But if you go over here to the edit, this is where things get pretty cool on the game capture, because your files that you get done recording, you'll hit the record button when you're done, and they'll come over here and you can watch them. And you can also, I think this Dying Light video will be coming out soon. If not, it's already out maybe. No, it's not out. It's not out yet. This video went out like, I believe, Wednesday, wasn't it? Yeah, the Advanced Warfare video. So I'll show this. I don't want to spoil the Dying Light video. Alright, this video, it already went out. It was already edited in Sony Vegas. And this video, when you're done recording, you can actually go through and clip these, like, you can pretty much edit it, but like you can't edit it like Sony Vegas edit. Like you can only take out sections. Like if you want this first part taken out or something like that, if you just want to clip it, zoom in, click that and delete it, there you go, you got that part deleted, and it goes right to where you're talking or whatever, if you don't have Sony Vegas or something advanced like that and you're just getting started out. I thought it was pretty useful. Now, if you want to take screenshots, this is how I usually get my thumbnail, guys. It's like the biggest thing for my thumbnails, but if I find, like, I usually spend quite a good amount of time doing this, but I usually go into a cool spot where I'm like fighting an enemy, and let's see, I want to see if I can try to find a spot like right here or something. I don't know. I'm gonna just find this spot like right here. These guys are jumping around, you know. Holy crap, that was 4 guys. I didn't even know that was that, but you can come here and take a snap, and it'll take a snap of this screen right here, and then you can come over here. I actually dragged the photo right there, and there it is, and you can pull it up, and that will be that. You can blow it up and all kinds of stuff, and that'll be the picture that you snapped. But we can just drag that in the recycle bin because we don't need that anymore. But yeah, that's it on this page, really, except for like editing. You can zoom in if you want to get to that better section you want and cut it up so you don't cut up your voice on accident. I usually did that a couple times when I first started out. But then when you're done doing whatever you want on this page, like editing, if you're just now starting out and you don't have Sony Vegas, you can just hit this file MP4 and it'll encode it and it'll transfer it into an MP4 file, and then you'll be done. So I believe that is it for the game capture software, guys. But if we come down, I might show you some of my Logitech webcam software. This is what I use to record my face cams and stuff like that. And if you guys do use the c920, I will show you it right now. Here, let's go to quick capture. You're gonna see my face. My hair is horrible right now, but I want to show you guys real quick. If you record at 1080p for your videos, record at 1080p on your webcam, because if you record at 720 or 480, then your webcam is gonna look like shit and your gameplay is gonna look really good. But also, I had trouble with this too when I first got the webcam. Take off right light, please. For some reason, if you have right light on, it will record your face cam at 14 frames per second, maybe 15 frames per second, and it looks laggy. Like right now, it looks pretty good. Like, it's really smooth and everything, but right when you take it on, it's so garbage. Like, it records it at 14 frames, but if you take it off, it records at 30 frames. I don't know why that is, but it is. But if you go to advanced settings, these are the settings I use. I usually don't mess with the gain that much, but the brightness I do mess with a little bit. I usually have it about, what is that, 60%. Contrast, I usually don't mess with 50%, it looks like. And then the color intensity usually is about 55, 60 almost. And then the white balance I don't really mess with either. Like I said, take out right light, because boy oh boy, 14 frames per second is not the best thing ever. And then I usually don't mess with the webcam control. Like, I don't really want to zoom in on my face, because that's just a little bit weird. I want it all the way out. And then yeah, that's that. I believe we can go to preferences. If you go to quick capture, you can also record, because what's cool about this microphone, if you don't have like a professional microphone like a Blue Yeti, you can see it right here, the Blue Yeti in the webcam software. If you don't have like one of them, you can also record it from the Logitech webcam software. It actually ain't that bad. I won't do it because I got a professional mic, I guess, and I just don't find useful to the Logitech webcam mic. But if you're recording off of it, just from recording for your face cams, put it on lossless large file size. It ain't that big of a file size, but do not go to standard, because the quality does go down a lot. And especially when they're already recording, like this webcam only records so much in megabytes per second, and you don't want to keep going down to like standard. High quality's okay, but I record on lossless because I always like the best quality for you guys. And yeah, that's that. Yeah, just please take off right light. For some reason that's just horrible if you keep it on. We can exit out of that. And then I believe the last thing we're gonna be looking at is Sony Vegas. So let me pull up Sony Vegas, guys. Hold up, it's loading. Sony Vegas is usually a while taking loading, and then I gotta drag it over here to the main screen that I'm recording off of. But whenever you're editing or something, you want to hit open. Yeah, you guys can see you see all these files I have. It's ridiculous. But let's see. I'm gonna take the last Advanced Warfare multiplayer. Always when you see this pop up, do you want to set your project settings to match this media? Hit no, because I usually always hit no, and a lot of people hit yes, and it sometimes messes it up. But this is the final edit, like where I'm done editing and everything, where I got the edit in. You guys can see this is all edited, where my annotation comes in and everything and stuff like that. But always, guys, remember, if you are like editing a video, right click the track, the video track, go to properties and disable resample. It will look amazing after, because it gets rid of that ghost effect. Like, I don't think my video will have it, but I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, in a quick movement, like, you'll see a shadow of your gun over here and stuff, and that disable resample will get rid of that shadowing or ghosting to the like left of it or right of it, wherever it's going. So I always thought that was pretty useful. And then you always, when you're done editing your video, whenever you need a track or something, you just click on audio track, and then the tracks will come up, and you can put in your tracks and your audio tracks and stuff like that. Like, if I was putting in my video annotations, I would come here, find the Advanced Warfare one, and then put in the annotation for it to slide in and stuff like that. But that's that. Whenever you're done editing your video, you go to render as. We'll slide this right over here, and I have 4 made just in case for my campaigns, my multiplayers, for 1080p and 720p. Sometimes I don't really use my 720p's anymore, because I don't really record in 720p anymore. I usually just record in 1080, and it looks a lot better. So yeah, do that whenever you click on it or something. Let's go down here to the 720s. Your bit rates and all that you might want to mess with. See, always make sure your bit rate's right. How you do that is, I'll try to find a video. I'm trying to make make much sense out of this. When you got your video here, I'll pull up my Dying Light playlist. This is my Dying Light folder, and I usually delete some videos to gain more size on my computer. But right click on the video that you have, like any video, like this is the new one that hasn't came out yet. Go to properties, go to details, and your data rate and total bit rate will be right here. And whatever it's between, like 31 or 30 to 30, and then whenever you see these two numbers, like 1 to 4, you want the bit rate to be like, for your maximum of 31, and then your average of 30. So it stays between that 30 to 31 million bit rate, and it'll just be at that constant bit rate, and it's really good. But whenever you're done with that, also do your frame rate at whatever frame rate you usually do. You can also find that in the video. I'll show you guys right here. You just right click on the video properties, and it'll be right here. It'll usually show up at 59 frames, but it'll be really 60 frames. It's just like an average thing for apparently 60 frames is 59. But X out of that, and then put whatever you have for frame rate, and then whatever your frame size is, which is 1080p, 720, or maybe if you even go down in the 480, which I do not expect you to do, or not to do at all, because it's horrible. But allow source to adjust frames per, or frame size, tick that off. Allow source to adjust frame rate, tick that off too, because if you don't, it's going to start messing with your frames, and it's going to start going up and down, and it'll probably just stay at like 45 frames or something crazy. But whatever your encode mode is, render using CPU only, or OpenCL available, or CUDA. I got CUDA. How you can check this is you go to your system and you check your GPU, and I got CUDA available. So this helps out a lot. Instead of your CPU just doing all the work, your graphics card will help out, and it'll go a little bit quicker in that process. But the audio, I keep the sample rate at 48,000, and then my bit rate at 224,000. It's usually default at 192,000, but I usually jump it up to 224,000 just because I always want that best audio. But you can't really tell the difference, but I usually just want to make sure. But I believe that is it for Sony Vegas, so we can X out of that. Anything else down here I can show? There's not really that much, guys. There's some Minecraft down here if you guys want to play some Minecraft. No, we're good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was useful on showing you guys what was the best settings and what I use for my recording, and I'll show you guys a couple of video clips from Advanced Warfare Black Ops 3 or Dying Light or some games that we're playing right now like Battlefield from PS4 or something. I'll show you guys some samples of what the video quality is like, and I'll leave that at the end of this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, then please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video on my channel. Take it easy, guys.
Shut out. Splash. Watch kill. UAV ready for tasking.
Good effect.
In the turn, sensors are capture your objective.
May the force be with us. Check your targets!